Welcome back to another reaction for Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 4 Episode 9.
ハッセの課題で解決策を見つけたローゼマイン。そんなある日、
あっさり許可が下りましたね。
実際城の中は広くて姫様は倒れそうになっていましたからね。
ローゼ
Are we really glossing over this? Now, I did say in one of the previous episodes that Rosemine is still not doing well physically. She's doing a lot better than the beginning of this series, but she's still not doing well, especially in this palace. It is very exhausting to go from one point to another, especially because they are so far apart. And she is prone to collapsing. Now, one thing, which is also the reason why she made her high beast, is that she can use it to go from A to B. However, this is not allowed. You can't summon your high beast inside the palace. You just can't. It's just, I mean, no one tried. No one had a reason to. This is what she means. This is what she said with, I received permission quite easily to use the high beast inside the palace. Why are we glossing over this? This is a pretty big thing because this is going to help her not be as weak, at least going from A to B in the palace. Why are we glossing over this? This is, in my opinion, one of the bigger things that happens inside this thing.
実際城の中は広くて姫様は倒れそうになっていましたからね。
It also feels like that the director or whoever made the script assumes that you can pick up on all the clues surrounding. There are a lot of things that are not really said. As example, whenever we are in a secret room, you see a door in the background with a red gem. That means, okay, we are in the secret room. She's able to be more blasé, not her noble-like. But we never really get told that. We just have to see the red crystal, be like, oh, we are in the secret room, which also, we had a couple meetings with her and Ferdinand where they were in his secret room, but we never got told that, really. You just have to get the connection. Hey, the crystal is on the door. Okay, we are in a secret room. This is not her secret room, but most likely his, or... I feel like we should mention this a little bit more.
ローゼマインなのか？この声。なんだこれは。私の奇獣です。
奇獣だと？私もまだ持っていないのに。
神殿長のお務めに必要なのです。城内での移動許可は父様からいただいてます。
また父上。ずるいぞ。
Okay. I stand corrected. We did mention it. Okay, I was wrong. I accept. Still, I feel like we did not really get... This is something that I did not really pick up on, but a friend of mine who doesn't know the novel said she's still sick. She's still prone to fall sick and be exhausted really quickly. That is why she got permission to use it. Because if I remember correctly, initially they didn't want to give her permission, but then after, after they considered that she could fall sick every time, they were like, okay.
ビルフリート兄様、ずるいずるいとそこまでおっしゃるのでしたら、明日の4の鐘まで一日私と生活を入れ替えてみませんか？
どういうことだ？
私が兄様の代わりにお勉強を、 兄様が私の代わりに神殿長のお務めをするのです。
ローゼマイン、それはいい考えだ。
I mean, that is the title of the episode we saw last week. Because he is jealous of her, because he assumes that she has a far better life. He can't leave the palace or the building as much. He has to always go to class and learn. Meanwhile, she's going out, she's meeting with his dad. She's going to the, not cathedral, monastery, whatever, the temple. So he's seeing naturally that her life is a lot more free. However, we also get to see potentially what his life is like.
これが城の外か。こうして城へ自由に出入りし、勉強もせず神殿で遊んで、ローゼマインばかりずるいではないか。今日はローゼマインのように一日好き勝手に過ごすのだ。
I do like that we get to see more of Wilfried, to see what he is thinking about, and we also see what his life is like through the viewpoint of mine. I do wonder if Wilfried is going into the commoner area of the city, because that is... Nah, never mind. Now that I think about it, mine doesn't go there anymore. Right. Since the Rose mine doesn't go into the lower commoner thingies city. Everyone comes to her. Okay, never mind. So he has no reason to go there. So why does the ears have like little movement? They don't really need to, right?
一晩とはいえ殿方のお部屋で生活するのはいかがなものかと。
私、領主の子がどのような生活をしているのか知りたいのです。
それだけのためにビルフリーと坊ちゃまを神殿へやるなど、姫様のことですから何かお考えなのでしょう。
うひ、バレてる。大したことは考えていませんよ。
このような菓子を食べるのは初めてだ。やはりローゼマインはずるいな。
Now, did she send some of her guards with him? Because how are all the gray robes, how do they know that he is supposed to be her replacement for the day? Oh, yeah, you, okay. Ferdinand is here, never mind. Yeah, good job. Have fun.
ローゼマインから聞いていると思うが、今日はビルフリートが神殿長を務める。
Oh no, there is Brigitte, Damiel. Okay.
皆きちんと使えるように。はい。では、ついてきなさい。
次に来月に繰り越す分ですが。
私には関係ない話だな。
バカ者。皆から各持ち場の報告を受けるのも神殿長であるローゼマインの仕事、つまりそなたの仕事だ。
ランプレヒト。
Yeah, I dare you go against Ferdinand. And again, I mean, this is your idea. You wanted to be here, so sit down, shut up.
黙って座って聞くように。
なんでじっとしてられないの？
お話を聞くだけなのにね。
聞くから手を離せ。
これ以上意味のないことで手を煩わせるな、愚か者。
くっそ、フェルディナンドめ。
報告は以上でございます。
やっと終わった。
新館長とはもう少しお話がございますので、神殿長は子供たちとカルタで遊んでいらしたらいかがでしょう。
カルタとは何だ？
Does Rosemine play Karuta? I don't remember. I know at the beginning because she need to teach the children. But does she know?
ゲームの一種でございます。
ゲームなら得意だ。
Oh, I remember. The whole point of Karuta is you have like a picture and words, and you are supposed to learn how to read and not write, but read with this game. I mean, it's a little bit of a learning game, essentially.
土の女神ゲドゥルリーヒの火の神風のこれは字が読めないとできぬゲームだな。そなたらよく読めるの？ローゼマイン様がカルタと絵本を作ってくださったので全員読めますよ。全員読めるだと？あそこにいるディルク以外は。
神殿長は神殿長なのに読めないのですか？
Getting mocked by children is insane.
無様な惨敗だな。親に言い含められた子供が相手でなければ、そなたはその程度。
フェルディナンド様、お言葉が。
事実だ。直視せよ。次は攻防で視察だ。
Yeah, you are not going to like it. Ferdinand doesn't care. He is here in the temple, so he doesn't need to care about nobility and noble etiquette. You have to just deal with it.
フェルディナンドめ。
ここではローゼマイン主導で
I mean, he's not going to be helpful here at all.
印刷事業を行っている。
それでお願いします。ルッツに確認してもらいましょう。
大人がたくさんいるのになぜあの二人が指示を出しているのだ？
彼らはローゼマインが育てている腹心だ。ローゼマインから直接指示を受け、工房を動かし報告する。
子供が？
二人ともローゼマインの期待に応えようと成長が著しい。もしかしたらローゼマインには人を育てる才能があるのかもしれぬな。
私にはバカにするようなことしか言わないのに。
ルッツ、ギル。
新しい絵本が完成したので、お近づきの印にビルフリート様もお受け取りください。絵本はローゼマイン様が作り始めたものです。
これもローゼマインが作っただと？ローゼマインの下で働いているそうだが、そなたらも字を読めるのか？
もちろんです。読めなければ仕事になりませんから。一生懸命に勉強しました。もしかして憲法は失礼だったでしょうか？
お披露目を控えた領主候補生であれば当然文字は読める。憲法が失礼になることはない。
Right? I do find it interesting that Gil, right? The one on the left. He was in a similar situation like Wilfried. He also was like, I don't care and I don't need to do much and I only need to survive. They are very similar. They are also both very antagonistic until Rosemary naturally got Gil to behave. So I do see some parallels here.
安心いたしました。
平民でも読める。
ビルフリート様は基本文字もまだ書けないのですか？
貴族ならとっくに終わってるはずなのに。
計算が得意でそちらばかりということですか？
いえ、どちらもまだ。
Which is insane. He can't read, he can't write, and he cannot do math well. So he can't really do anything. He is also... I don't really know how good the children in the orphanage are in math. We know they can read and write, but how good are they at calculating stuff? Because they are definitely further ahead than Wilfried, and they're younger. And they don't have the money and the power. They don't have like 4 tutors that stay at their side.
ではフィッシュピールに重点を置いていらっしゃるの？
She's so grasping at straws. She's trying to find anything he's good at.
冬になると洗礼式を終えた子供のお披露目があり、フェシュピールを弾くのが習わしだ。
いえ、音階もまだ。
音階もまだって大丈夫？
オズワルト、モーリッツ、そなたたちは一体何をしているのです？全員そこに整列なさい。側近の仕事を何だと思っているのです。ビルフリート様をお育てする気があるのですか？
そこからはリヒャルダ無双だった。
実は勉強となるとビルフリート様に逃げられてばかりで。
逃げ出したならば捕まえなさい。一体何のために領主のこの筆頭そば使いに領主と血縁関係にある上級貴族がつけられていると思っているのですか？
本来領主の後継者は魔力量と資質によって選ばれる。そのため、側近たちは自分たちの主が次期領主に選ばれるように一丸となって教育する。ところが実の姉との後継者争いが嫌だった父様は早々にビルフリート兄様を後継者に決定した。だから誰も本気で兄様を叱らない。
What? Oh, my adoptive father hated the succession struggle. Oh, okay. So he doesn't want his children to have a succession struggle, so he's like, okay, Wilfried is going to be the next orb. Yeah, but as I said, the whole point is to have people that are somewhat in a similar position as like the children to be their tutor, so they can go against them. They can be more rude instead of having like, we had the situation with Damiel and I do not remember his name, where he was unable to go against him because Damiel is like a low-ranked noble and the other one was like a middle-ranked noble. So you are more or less subservient. You cannot go against them. That is why you have high-ranking nobles tutor the next leader, so they can go against him and be more strict instead of just letting him run away.
アウブに相談をあげたこともありましたが、私も昔はそうだったと言われ。
何を勘違いしているのやら。私もカルステッド様も本気で追いかけて捕まえましたし、本人が嫌がってもやらせていましたよ。それにフェルディナンド様が城に入ってきてからは逃げ出すのをやめ、自ら進んで努力されるようになったのです。
兄としていいところ見せたくなっちゃったんだね。わかる。
おそらくジルベスター様は今の状況を甘く見ているのでしょう。すぐに面会の手続きをしてまいります。
なんだこれは。
祝詞の暗唱も神殿長の仕事です。
この量と内容はビルフリート様にはまだ早いと思うぞ。
私は字が読めぬ。
ではランプレヒト様に読んでいただき復唱して覚えてください。夕食はその後といたします。
やだ、こんなもの覚えないぞ。
Now the question is, what is Fran going to do? I mean, clearly he's not going to give him his food or dinner or whatever. But this is... it's a little bit too much what Wilfried is doing here. However, Fran can't really go against him. Or can he?
ビルフリート様。
フラン、 ビルフリートは夕食が必要ないらしい。6の鐘が鳴っても覚えられていない場合は先に夕食を取りなさい。神の恵みを回す時間に間に合わなくなる。
かしこまりました。
存在自体が不快ではないか。おばあ様の言っていた通りだ。どうせこんなもの覚えなくても時間になってフェルディナンドがいなくなれば皆私の言うことを聞く。
I mean, that is a good part of the temple. Nobility doesn't really matter here. Sure, there's still some rules you have to abide by, but he's not Wilfried the next in line for being the orb. He is the High Bishop. So you don't really have your noble powers right now. You do still have the guard. However, Damir and Brigitte are also here. And they are not your guards. So hopefully they are going to help Fran.
時間だ。あとは任せる。
かしこまりました。
祈りと感謝を捧げて聖なるご加護を賜らん。
やめよランプレヒト。夕食の時間だぞ。美味しそうな匂いだ。
ランプレヒト様、別室にお食事のご用意ができました。ダームエル様とご一緒していただいてよろしいですか？
それは構わぬが。
Normally you don't eat before your master, right? Also, I do like that they still uphold the point that always a guard has to be present. Brigitte is still waiting because that was made more clear in the Italian restaurant, where I believe that is where they went into a little bit more depth of you always need to rotate guards while eating.
ここの食事は主が下げ渡し、そば使いや子供たちへ順々に回していくのです。時間が遅くならぬようご理解くださいませ。
私の食事が先であろう。
夕食は祝詞を覚えてからとお伝えしましたし、新官長からもそう命じられています。
私とフェルディナンド、どちらが偉いと思っている？
新官長に決まっているではありませんか。
私は領主の正当なる息子だぞ。私の方が偉いのだ。
Now, this threat would be somewhat credible if you were talking to nobility. But you are talking to a grey robe that does not really know or care much about the rankings. So for Fran, Ferdinand is number 1, Rosemine is number 2. Technically, I mean, at the beginning, before Fran got assigned to mine, then yeah, Ferdinand was number 1, mine was number 2. Now, a little bit questionable. It feels like he would be more inclined to be on mine's side, because you shouldn't forget that he wanted to be Ferdinand's aide, but then got assigned to mine because Ferdinand trusted him. And he was very unhappy at the beginning, if you remember. Now the question is, if mine would tell him that he could go back, would he be more willing to go back to Ferdinand or stay with mine? Nonetheless, your threat doesn't really work that much. Also, you are not really higher ranked than Ferdinand. Sure, you are the next in line of succession, but Ferdinand is the brother of Sylvester, so there could be a valid dispute and a struggle for succession if something happens to the Sylvester.
ジルベスター、あれはダメだ。ビルフリートは後継ぎ候補から外せ。
I do love that Ferdinand he doesn't mince his words. He's like, yeah, just make a new one. I mean, you already have to make another one.
何を言い出すのだ、フェルディナンド。
このままでは冬のお披露目で失敗するのは目に見えています。その方がかわいそうですよ。
リヒャルダまで。
お披露目が失敗すれば敗着は免れぬ。無駄な時間をかける前に城から出せ。
ビルフリートは私の息子だ。城から追い出せなどと。
私はそなたを領主として認めている。だからこそいずれ自分のようになるというそなたの言葉を信用していた。だがそれは間違いだった。
どういう意味だ。
ビルフリートは黙って話を聞くこともできず、課題をやろうともしない。それどころか身分を振りかざして逃れようとした。今までローゼマインと比べるから見劣りするのかと思っていたが、そうではない。
Also, we shouldn't forget, this is one big reason they did say that he uses his position as the next in line to be the orb to evade all these responsibilities, which Sylvester was unable to do because he had to fight to be the next orb against his siblings. So there is not really that outside pressure that Sylvester was under. Wilfried has like nothing really stopping him from just exerting his position as the next orb for whatever he wants to do.
あれは神殿の子供にも工房で働く平民の子にも劣っている。身分を責任逃れに使う愚か者を領主とするわけにはいかぬ。
待て、フェルディナンド。
Whoa. We cannot allow a fool that uses his status to evade his responsibilities to become the next Archduke. I mean, Sylvester is not that much different. The only reason we know him is because he snuck out to go hunting in the woods of the commoners, because the woods of the noble district have like rules and he didn't want to follow them. So you can definitely see the similarities. However, Sylvester is doing his job somewhat reluctantly, but he's doing his job.
領主とするわけにはいかぬ。
待て、フェルディナンド。時期に改善する。私が幼い頃も。
ジルベスター様、いい加減現実を見てくださいませ。
しかし。
無能は生きている価値もない。
That is insane. The incompetent have no right to live is insane to say.
役立たずの領主の子など城に置いておくことはできない。放り出されたくなければそれなりの成果が必要に決まっている。
いくらなんでも洗礼式を終えたばかりの子供に厳しすぎではないか。
これは私が洗礼式のために城へ連れてこられた7歳の頃からそなたの母親に言われてきたことだ。
そんなことが。
ジルベスター様。
フロレンツィア。
ビルフリートの養育を私から取り上げてお母様に任せた結果がこのありさまですか？
Oh, you fucked up. Oh no. This is the calm before the storm. She's like, oh yeah. So this is what happens to my... I mean, she's a mom. If we go away from anime parents, I mean, Ascendance of a Bookworm has good parents, so we can assume they are also good parents. And she definitely doesn't want her son to have a bad life. But I guess he entrusted his son to his mom instead of his wife?
いや、それは。
あなたはビルフリートに対して取り返しのつかないことをしました。ビルフリートの教育はすべて私に返していただきます。 ローゼマインは神殿の子供たちが一冬で読み書きできるように教育したのでしょ。あなたならばどうしますか？
それから、
I find it insane that parents that are like, I don't know, 30 or so, asking a 10-year-old child what they would do.
ビルフリート兄様の今後について話し合いが行われた。
Even, I mean, you have Ferdinand. Ask him. He's going to make Wilfried read and write. Wilfried is going to be very distraught, but I mean, he did teach Rosemine a lot of stuff really fast.
いくらそば使いを入れ替え、環境を改善したところで無駄だ。
神殿一の問題児と言われたギルだって変われたのです。まだわかりません。
私は努力をしない能なしは大嫌いだ。新炭寒からしめ、恐怖の谷に突き落としてやりたくなる。
では、
Yo, you have to share.
努力する気があれば良いのですね。私、兄様に祝詞を暗記するよう課題を出しているのです。
できるわけがない。
絶対大丈夫です。私の読書時間をかけてもいいですよ。
君が読書時間を？根拠は何だ？
私のそば使いが優秀だからです。
私はローゼマイン様から言命されております。必ず祝詞を覚えさせるように、領主の子だからと甘やかさないようにと。
私が食事をとるのは甘えなのか？
与えられた課題から逃れようとする行為は甘えでございます。ここは神殿です。そして今のビルフリート様はローゼマイン様の代わりの神殿長です。
ならば私が一番偉いではないか。
今の神殿長は領主の養女として日々努力し、季節の祝詞を覚え、工房を運営し、貴族の教養を学び、神官長の仕事を手伝い、その神官長の庇護を受けるローゼマイン様です。それがビルフリート様が交換された神殿長の生活です。
What a fun day, right?
私が読みましょうか。
ここのそば使いはローゼマインにも厳しいのか？
はい。神事のたびに祝詞以外にもたくさんの木札が積み上がっておりました。
読んでくれ。
もし課題を達成できれば、環境が悪いだけでやる気はあるということです。フェルディナンド様も認識を改めて教育計画に協力してください。
私に何をさせる気だ？
今のままでは継がせられない崖っぷちだと頭と心に刻みつけてほしいのです。そういうのお得意でしょ？
なぜそこまでするのか。
このまま放置するのは気分が悪いのです。それにこれでやっと母親のもとで育てられるのでしょ？その方が良いではありませんか。
大変努力されましたね。素晴らしいです。明日も頑張りましょう。
座って書けと何度言えばわかる。
何をする！
The guard is not doing anything. He's not even moving. Not a muscle.
私は領主の正当な後継者だぞ！
父親はそなたを後継にと考えているが、
父上もおばあ様もそう言っていた。
そなたは領主の子としての気構えも覚悟も努力も全くない。領主の血を引いているだけの愚かでわがままな子供だ。
フェルディナンド様、そのくらいで。
愚かなのはそなたら側近もだ。
ランプレヒト。
主のためを思うなら。
It's rare to see someone use it. I mean, we know Mine uses the crushing every now and then because she can't control herself, but seemingly you can use it as an effective offensive method.
椅子に縛り付けてでも学ばせろ。エローニカはもういない。私は今のそなたのようなものを主と仰ぐのはまっぴらごめんだ。このまま領主の地位につくというのならば全力で叩き潰す。覚えておけ。
こうして私たちの生活交換は幕を閉じた。
以上の観点から生活環境の改善もしくはビルフリートの廃着を望む。
廃着。
その件に関しては冬のお披露目を見て考えよう。それまでに基本文字を書けるようになること、数字を書き簡単な計算ができるようになること、フェシピールを一曲弾けるようになること、これらができれば現状維持とする。
Which I believe are like the bare minimum of children his age.
わかりました。読書だと？
ええ、図書室でひたすら本を読んでいました。幸せな一日でした。ビルフリート兄様、あと3日ほど生活を交換しませんか？あんな生活ずるいではありませんか。
悪かった。ローゼマインにずるいとはもう言わぬ。
目的達成。満足満足。うふふん。
We also have never really officially resolved the issue with the end of episode 1. Because some people were like, oh yeah, maybe we are going to get back to that. Yeah, no, the one sentence we got was all they gave us, which is a little bit sad.
ローゼマイン様は一体何をお考えな
Behind the scenes of Wilfried's day as High Bishop.
のでしょう。
何か思惑があるんだろう。ローゼマイン様の報復はすごいからな。今後逆らえなくなることは間違いない。そいつ城でいつもローゼマイン様を困らせてるやつなんだろ。
大好きなローゼマイン様が辛い思いをされるのは嫌です。
俺たちでローゼマイン様はいつも頑張っててすごいんだってところを見せつけてやろうぜ。
えいえいおー
Okay, so we got a little glimpse of. We didn't really get any. We didn't get much of Wilfried's day out of Mine's viewpoint. We saw her being taught a little bit and she was reading. So I guess Wilfried is only learning, going to something like school, home tutoring. And the rest of the day is free, I guess. Meanwhile, we saw a little bit more of Mine's day out of the viewpoint of Wilfried, learning all the prayers, working with Ferdinand, helping Ferdinand with his papers, doing all of these meetings. She's doing a lot every day. And we have, hopefully, Wilfried, or put Wilfried on the path where he's going to learn more, and he's going to be at least an okay successor. I mean, what is it's always a problem. We saw Mine used her high beast inside the palace. We found out she got permission to use that. We had the swap with Wilfried. We had Wilfried being unable to sit still and just listen. He just wants to move around. He's getting bored really easily. He is unable to read and write. He's unable to do simple math. He's unable to do the Haarspiel. Again, these are all things he should know by now. Because as they were stating in Winter, we have like the ceremony where the newly baptized children are playing. And he is supposed to play there too. And especially because he's very high ranking, people are naturally going to look at him, especially because he's the next in line of succession. Very early on, I mean, this is sure, we found out that there was like a succession between Sylvester and his sister, and because that one was somewhat hard, he didn't want his children to go through it. That is why he declared Wilfried the next heir. Which has the benefit of, yeah, we don't have a succession crisis. However, on the other hand, now the nobility can try to curry favor earlier with Wilfried. They don't need to spread out to the other children. What else? We saw him being unable to do the stuff mine was doing. We went through a day of mine. We saw Ferdinand being very, not aggressive, but Ferdinand is very strict. And you saw his Lamprecht, I believe it was. Wilfried's guard was unable to go against Ferdinand. You even saw at the end where Ferdinand was teaching him a lesson with the crushing, which again, a little bit, it's just rare. At this point, we only saw mine use the crushing, and that is whenever her magic was running out of control. Ferdinand using it deliberately is interesting. Is there no other way to do that? Nonetheless, this was to teach him a lesson, to then put Wilfried in his place, to then have the situation displayed correctly, that Wilfried has to learn to read and write, has to do simple math, has to do one Haarspiel piece, all by the winter ceremony. If he is unable to do that, he is going to be removed as the next successor. Also, we heard that the mom, Wilfried's mom, was Florentia, was not helping grow up, but she was not responsible for Wilfried's upbringing, but for some reason Sylvester put that responsibility on his mother, which is a little bit weird. So Wilfried, that is why he did say grandmother. So his point of contact is the grandmother instead of the mother. Again, I feel like it's a little bit weird. Normally, I would assume the parents, the direct parents, are responsible for most of the upbringing, and the grandparents are auxiliary, a little bit on the side. But here it seems different. But Florentia was able to now get back control. We will see if it is too late or not. Apart from that, we did not really get much else. We made a new book. We have not seen the book, so we don't know what is in there. It's a new picture book, though. Yes, that's all. Next week, we have some material gathering, whatever that means.